Is Dr. Victory Nkechi Ikechukwu, and I welcome you once again for Victory Hour. Remember, it's another beautiful Wednesday morning, and every Wednesday is, the day for Victory Hour on this platform of Chat Room with Dr. Victory Ikechukwu. Remember, I always bring teachings on how people can live victoriously in their everyday life, and also in those aspects of their lives where they feel defeated. By the grace of God, I bring teachings, on how people can have victory. I will encourage you to, let your friends know about, my teachings, encourage them to watch the videos so that it can be of a help to them. People are hurting out there. We know a lot of people that are hurting, that feel as if, things are not really going well, in their lives. So I believe by the grace of God that, my teachings can be of a help to them. But how can they know if someone that already knows about my teaching doesn't let them? So that's why I encourage you to let your friends like the page, tell them about the teachings and encourage them to watch the videos. Let them comment, let them like the page. And also, if you or even the person they encourage you to watch have any questions on any of the topic that I've taught, let them send the message across through the comment well, the comment column, or if it's highly confidential, my number is also on the screen. They can call me through WhatsApp or even send me email, or if they really want a confidential conversation, I'll be ready to render help. Okay, that's by the way. Let's go to today's topic. Today's topic is understanding and marriage. By the grace of God, I think last week I dealt on dealing with in-laws. Today I'm going to teach on understanding and marriage, because we all know that most marriages are having a lot of challenges, a lot of problems, that which, as simple as understanding looks, is a great solution to most of the problems that people are having in marriages. By the grace of God, with the little time that I have this month, I'm going to bring a teaching on understanding in marriage. What is understanding? Understanding means to know or realize the meaning of something. Why is this thing happening? To know the meaning why something is happening, or why this thing, is taking place like this. Also, why people behave the way they do, talk the way they do things the way they do. Understanding, you have to know why this person is doing like this, why this thing is happening like this. That is understanding. Why is it raining now? It is rainy season. Why is it cold now? It is winter season. Why is it hot now? It is summer season. That is understanding. If we have understanding of the way things are, we will not really make mistake. Okay, let's take for example, when it's summertime, you're not supposed to wear jerseys, sweaters, and all that. You feel very hot. Then, when you have the understanding that it's summer and it's the season for hotness, you will wear light clothes. So it's the same applicable to winter season. When it's winter season, you need to have understanding. Okay, the weather has changed. It's now a cold season. You can't wear a vest. You can't wear light clothes. You have to wear warm clothes. You have to wear jackets. You have to wear sweaters. You have to wear jerseys, so that you can feel warm. So it is same applicable to life situation. If you have understanding of why things are happening the way they are happening, then there will be solution. Then you will know how to handle them properly. So in any relationship, especially marriage, understanding can be a key to the solution of some material problems. But when we don't have understanding of what the source of the problem is, we try to lay blame on our spouses. You say, oh, you are the fault, you are the fault, it is your fault, or you are the problem. But when we have understanding and in an atmosphere of love, we'll try to find out, by the grace of God, the solution to the problem. Today I am going to explain some places or areas of concentration where we need understanding. There are some places where we need understanding in order for our marriage to be our heart desire, in order for our marriage to be what we desire them to be. It's not a magical thing. It doesn't come like magic. You have to work it out. You know, I heard somebody saying someday, say marriage is a walk. You have to walk it out. No matter how old you're married, even if you're married for 20 years, 30 years, you're still discovering one another. You're still understanding one another. And you are still working in unity and in love to work things out. So let's go to the number one point of today. I said, understand the biological makeup of man and woman. Remember, I normally say in this my teaching that God said I should use my practical, examples, to teach people every day on each and every of my videos. So I'm going to bring my practical example of I and my husband. Before my husband married, he started reading books about women. Just like me that I'm speaking, I'm a woman. The way women, we think, we see things, we analyze things is not the same with men. So if really you want your marriage to work, okay, just don't say, okay, Dr. Vitri, I'm already married. Is it too late? No, it's not too late. You can still start where you are. Try to read books about men. Try to, if you're a woman, try to know about men, the makeup of a man, how they think, how they see things, how they react. Even by the grace of God, I myself, not only about marriage, I read things about kids. Even, do you know that baby boys and baby girls, they are different? I read things and, I always say humorous by the grace of God. I had 3 boys. I have 3 boys. I really desired a girl. God didn't bring you. Don't force God. God. But I think one of my teaching, I brought a book about raising boys, specifically for boys. But even besides that, I read about girls also, because I am a minister of the gospel. I counsel people, so I need to know, not when people bring their issues about girls, I say I don't have a girl. No, but what I'm trying to say, you that is watching me right now, wherever you're watching me from all over the world, try to learn about a man. Stop complaining about your husband. Try to know the way you as a woman think is not the way. Even you that is watching me as a man, try to read about women. Try to understand women. They used to say that men, they just love action, that we women, we like, verbalizing it. Like a man, even if you don't tell a man, I love you, he doesn't care as long as, you're doing things, your action shows that, you love him by washing his clothes, ironing, keeping the house clean is fine by him. But a woman wants you to verbalize it each and every day. Humorously, there's this story I heard about the man, the wife keep complaining, you don't tell me I love you. So the man just took, a paper and wrote, my darling wife, I love you 100 times, and posted it. It's just humor, but it didn't really make a change, because the woman wants you each and every day. Tell her, I love you. But the man just said, okay, if you want to know I love you, just look at the wall and know that I love you more than 100 times a day. But that cannot work. So that's the same. When you read about women, you now know that even when you don't feel like, you just said, oh, baby, I love you. Oh, my sweetie. Oh, my wife, I love you. That is, a woman values that more than money. Because you find out that most, well-to-do men, rich men, they marry their wife, they're not there. They always feel, okay, the money is there, you can do whatever you want. You find that their wife mess up with their drivers and, their gardeners and all that, because those are the ones that are close, trying to say, madam, you look nice, your hair is nice and all that. Those are the things that trigger women. Women wants to know, your hair is fine and all that. There's a story about a lady that, she went to have a hairdo, and he was trying for the husband to notice. The husband didn't notice she did this and all that. That is the making of a man. When you understand like that, even if when he didn't compliment, it's fine. And another thing, when it comes to the aspect of men love respect. No matter what you do, try to respect them. Try to give them that respect they desire. And another thing, men, they have egoistic nature. Even, I said by the grace of God, I have 3 boys. Even baby boys, even at the infant, not even toddler. Toddler is when they started working. At the infant age, when they are still breastfeeding, you see that egoistic nature. Sometimes when they bite your nipple, when you like, baby, they are ready to fight. That is the way of a man. So you know that you can't engage in a fight with a man, because naturally they have that ego, that egoistic nature of a man. So if I don't want to dwell so much on this, because I have a lot of topic that I need to explain. But these are things that we need to know. You need to read books about understanding how a man is. Because some of the mistake that you are making in your marriage as a woman, if you have read books about the making or the makeup of a man, you will not make the mistake. Even you that is listening to me as a man, if you have read book about about women, the mistakes you think you are making now, you would not have made it, because women are highly emotional. My husband used to say humorously, say women will behave like babies. The thing that trigger women is not the same thing as a man. If you just tell a woman, I love you, oh my goodness, you have made her day. Send her an SMS. My husband does when he's out, he send me SMS sometimes. Even some videos I said, oh, this man. You know, just to make sure, because if I know when I'm watching the videos, I'm smiling. That is it. You need to, not that we are perfect, but I told you we are working towards it. My husband read books about women. I read books and I'm still reading, you know, about men. So if we can do that, I think it will go a long way to help in some marital issues. We don't need to be calling the third party, calling your in-laws or calling your own family or even trying to involve your friend. That is no. Because you find that most of the time you think is your best friend, is your confidant, you try to involve them in your marital issues, they will sell you out. I know about somebody that is very close to me that happened some time ago. He thought this lady is close. You know, he's trying to confide in her, tell her about her marital problem. And you know, when I and my husband heard about the marital problem outside from that particular friend, you know, I felt so bad. I told my husband, see, that's why I don't even, you know, I don't have friends. I have friends, but I don't have somebody who is confident. I put in my heart. That's the way it is, because when they'll sell you out, it will be very painful because you are really laying yourself bare and naked before them, thinking that you're your close friend. All right, that's by the way. Let's just proceed. Hey, you know, my teaching is really wonderful and time is always flying like this. Number 2 is understand their background, their foundational issues. Remember I saying the places you need to understand. They used to put, can I say, you need to apply understanding for your marriage to work. Even, you know, by the grace of God, if you can apply this my teaching, I am assuring you that you don't even need a third party. You don't even need a counseling from your pastor. You don't even need to go to counseling or to go to a relationship coach or go to somebody your husband believes in. You know, we women, we like running to, you know, calling for the daddy, my wife did this, my husband did this. Most of the time, the fault is from us. I read a book about praying, they call it Praying Wife. You know, they have Praying Parent and all that. Stormy Omartian is the author. You know, that one specifically is the power of a praying wife. When I started reading, the woman was like, you know, there's a woman that she went to, you know, pray to God and say, God, my husband did this, blah, 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 blah. You know, sometimes after praying, we wait in the place of meditation. You know, praying is talking to God. Meditation is listening, you know, to God. Then God will talk. You know, when she was listening, God said, you're the problem. She was like, God? Me? God said, yes, you're the problem, your mouth. You know, most women, our problem is our mouth, the way you talk to the man, blah, blah, blah. Some of us is attitude, the way you treat the man. Some of us, we don't even know how to treat a man outside. A man needs respect. I am telling you, when you treat a man like a king, it's not even magic. Automatically, he treats you like a queen. But most of us, we don't know how to treat our husband. We always lay the blame on them while the fault is from we women. Why am I saying this? Okay, don't say I'm biased. I'm a woman myself. I know what I'm talking about. Because most of the time, just like I said last week about marital understanding alone, men, they don't have more problem because men, they allow things to be. But we women, we want to prove a point. Let me still go to my number 2. Background. Most of the problems in marriages, it might really be that the man is having a problem from his background. You, in the place of understanding, can help him to seek for spiritual help. Maybe go to your father in the Lord or a minister of the gospel that you know that is genuine, that you believe in. You go for prayers. He can pray for you and your husband. Yeah. You can be prayed for and you'll be delivered. Instead of you laying blame. You know, there's a story I heard about, you know, is even a child of God that is battling with polygamy. Why? Because of his background. His great-grandfather in his family, you know, they are polygamous. Not only even his immediate, his great-great-grandfather and all that. You know, it's like something that runs in the family. And when he married, you know, he was having problem with adultery because he is a child of God and he wanted to keep his family. But that thing keeps, you know, disturbing him. But in a place of understanding, the wife can help. They will seek, you know, for spiritual help. And, you know, he was delivered and everything was fine. So if we can try to have understanding on this and trying to say, okay, this my husband needs help, he needs to be helped, but he has to be in the place of understanding, not heaping blame. That thing you think that is a problem in your marriage can be easily solved if it is being, you know, taken care of in the atmosphere of love. My time is fast flying. Let's go to the number 1 point. Understanding their upbringing, the way they are brought up. You know, most people, I can say that, you know, the way they were brought up. Maybe you are coming from, you know, an affluent home, and he's coming from, can I say, a poor background. So you have to understand, you know, the way he was brought up. Maybe you were so close, you know, with flamboyant living, and him, they are used to simple living. You don't shout at him and all that. You know, that's why God gave me this topic, understanding. I think that word, if you can, you know, sit down and think about it, a little understanding, try to understand. By the grace of God, I am a educationist, my profession. I taught for some time before, I went into full-time doing the work of the ministry. When I was teaching, I had a lot of children like that. I had to teach them with understanding, because some of them, their background, is a kind of affecting them academically and all that. But when you as a teacher notices it and bring them with the atmosphere of love, trying to make them, blend, you will find out, you will bring out the best in them. It's the same in marriage. If you can, okay, let's say if you are a man, you are from a rich home and your wife is from a poor background, you try to bring her up in love and all, and not try to belittle her, letting her know that you're more better. Oh my goodness, your home will be a blissful home. Time will not permit me to, explain more about a whole lot of other things. Most of the marriages, maybe you are used to, having, what they call here, English breakfast, and then they are used to, eating rice or even eating solid food at breakfast because of the level of the family. So you don't really try to belittle her and all that. This has to do a lot with understanding. You will find out there is even a man, that find out, okay, the wife likes this. You say, okay, is it what you like? All of us. Remember when I was talking about dealing with in-laws last week? I was like, the way they dress, the way they eat and all that. I brought an example about, my sister-in-law that said they eat by 10 a.m. And in my husband's house, they eat by 8 a.m. So you cannot say, okay, I want to bring that my own here. No, let us blend. In an atmosphere of love and understanding, the husband was like, okay, that was my home. That was your home. Now, this is our own present family. How do you want it? And you find out that children, they eat early. You say, okay, let's eat maybe even 7. So 8 a.m. is your own, 10 a.m. is my own. That's not withstanding. Now, this is a new home. So most of the time, we shouldn't bring our, past family background into the present home, because the marriage where you are right now is a new home that both of you are building together by the grace of God. And you should concentrate on what is happening presently there, not bringing your own or him bringing his own. Remember, the Bible says a man will leave his family, and cleave to his wife. Okay, let's continue. That was number 3 point. Number 4 said the environment they're exposed to. I think I've explained it here now. I said whether rich or poor. So you don't try to belittle your wife or belittle your husband because of where you're coming from. I find a lot of women that are from rich home that it didn't even move them. So they just blended, they just loved the man and all that and all that. There was even one that when she got married, the family bought a brand new car for her and her husband, and, she gave to the husband and they started driving and all that, No, except if you're close, just because we were very, very close to them that I got to know that it was from the family. You wouldn't even know, you thought it's the husband. That's the way it should be. We try to do things to cover up so that you don't expose, what is happening in your marriage outside. All right, let's proceed. The number 5th point is single parent. Most people are coming from, the background of single parenting. So you have to understand maybe what that is bringing a little issue in the marriage might be, their background. There's a story I just heard, I think it was last week, last week that just passed, about a lady, because the husband is coming from a single parent, and a single parent is either the children were being brought up only by the mother or by the father. But I think in this situation, this guy was brought up by the mom. They didn't have a father. So the mom was doing everything. So when he got married, this guy is really working, he's well paid. But he didn't know, that mentality of his mother doing everything. He now thought that's the way life is. The wife does everything financially and all that. I know it was like a kind of a problem that was brought to a man of God. So this man of God that was handling this now brought to their knowledge, about, this guy, he needs counseling, he needs to be talked to. And you, a woman, you need to understand, because the woman was thinking that this guy was punishing him because she was paying the school fees and all that. Actually, the guy was still doing some financial, obligation of the home. But the way the wife expected him to be, he was not. But that's why I'm bringing this teaching by the grace of God. He himself didn't really know that what he was doing was bad, because he grew up seeing his mom doing most of the things at home. But when he was cancelled, when he was talked to, do you know he apologized to the wife? So that's why I said this teaching is really, really cardinal for you that is watching me right now or watch later. Try to let somebody know, somebody you know that is passing through, some marital issue. Encourage them to watch this video and to watch even some more of other of my videos, to encourage them to know that you don't need to be, running helter-skelter, looking for help there and there, while the help is right within you, your inside. If you can sit down and said, okay, this my husband needs help, or this my wife needs help, let's start even at home here. Let's talk about it. Then we can go out and look for professional help. Remember, I talked about a single parent. Most men or women are coming from single parents. So the way they are behaving in their marriages, it might be as a result of their mentality of where they're coming from. That's why I and my husband, by the grace of God, we are relationship coach. We teach people, because that's why people need to go for counseling, before they get into marriage, because these are the things that we teach. These are the things we expose, because people might not really know. They need to know about it. So when they go into the marriage and these things start unfolding, it will not really be like a big hit. They will know how to handle it, because they've already known about it. Alcohol parent, mom or dad battling with it. There are some that are brought up in the atmosphere of alcoholics. Most people, their father is alcoholics and their mom. Yeah, it's not really a mountain. Most women too battle. There's a story I heard about a woman that drank, every day she drinks. She doesn't even know what to do. This one is not even a weekend thing. She drinks every day, that to the point that at the time she didn't know where her 15-year-old girl was. But by the grace of God, she was delivered, and, she knew that, oh my God, I've really been destroying my life and the life of my daughter. So most of the time, what we experience in marriage might be as a result of, maybe the father was an alcoholic, or the mom, and there was no love, there was always abuse and all that. Abuse is not really only physical abuse. There's emotional abuse that somebody keeps thinking, what is really happening? Why is my life not like others? So it might really affect the man in marriage. But if you know, okay, my husband is suffering from, some past experiences that really affecting him. Okay, in the atmosphere of love, he said, I want to help you, my husband. So you can try to help the little way you can by talking to him and then encouraging him, both of you, in an atmosphere of love, and go to seek for professional help. All right, let's continue. The last point there is absentee father. Oh my goodness. Most people, have absentee father. Single parent is different, because single parent means either the mother is not there in the person's life or the father is not there. But this absentee father is, then I remember when we were in primary school, we used to say absent, present. That's present means you're in school. Absent means the person is not in school. So absentee father means sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not there. He's not always there, sometimes he's there and all that. It's not really good, because it affects the children. The children, they need their father all the time. Okay, let's say there are some situation, maybe the father might be far away, let's say in another country or thereabouts, but he is part of their life. Calling, we thank God for, the advance of technology right now. There's a way. I remember when my husband, was somewhere else and I was somewhere else with my children. We didn't really feel him, because he himself not really calling every day. He calls morning and night. Oh my goodness. The children didn't really feel that he was not absent. So they felt like, he was there, and I put his photos all over the whole house and all that. They keep talking about him and all that. He keep talking to them, when he calls, he makes sure he talks for a long time. That is different, because you are part of the life of the children. But when you're absentee father, you're not even there. Even when you're needed, you're not there. When they go for school programs that other parents will come, you are not there and all that. Those things affect children. So you find out that maybe your husband had an absentee father. Now he's battling, how to connect with your children. You shouldn't shout at him. You shouldn't pick a fight at him. You have to, that's why that's my teaching is really cardinal. For any woman that is having problem, in the marriage, or even any man, you have to understand, so that you, in an atmosphere of love, you talk things out with him. I bet you no man or no woman is a devil. They will change, because sometimes we find out some things we do in life, we don't really even know that is a problem. But when you let the person know there's a problem and that the person needs help, and the person accepts it, and they go for help, and things will turn around for the better. Please, you need to be in an atmosphere of love and understanding to help your spouse. Also, even women, it might be absentee father, because we find out that, baby girls and their father, they are so close. Maybe she was growing up and the father, is an absentee father, is not always there. So now she's busy, looking for a father figure. So you, even that is coming into her life as a husband, you should first of all assume, that position of a father. Because they said in every woman, no matter how old the woman is, maybe she's 50 years or 60 years or thereabout, or 40 or 45 or 20 or 15, a woman always longs for a man. That's why you see most men that have daughters, they try to bond. When you bond with your daughter and brings her closer to your heart, she'll find it difficult, to fall in the hands of a man. By the grace of God, thank God my father, have a blessed memory, has gone to be with the Lord, was very close to us. I told my husband, to the point that even when I was in secondary school, high school, my father was still ironing our school uniform, to that point that I didn't even have time for men outside. It took me quite some time before I started dating. I think I can't even remember when I started dating, because he was everything to me. So that's how every father should be to a girl. Make her feel that you are the best, so that she will not, have time to mess up with any man outside there. Oh my goodness, my time is always flying. But as I come to conclusion of this, my topic today, when you understand the above explanation I have just done, then you can assist your spouse to seek for professional help. In the place of understanding, you help your spouse to change gradually in an atmosphere of love. Why am I using spouse there? It can be a woman or a man. We all have challenges. We all have, some things that we are battling with that are really affecting us presently, present families where we are right now. Maybe it's things from, from the man's family, of the woman's family, that we are battling with. If we can, in the place of love and understanding, deal with these things, we'll have a wonderful home. We'll stop from running helter-skelter or trying to bring a third party to come and mediate, between, mediator, it's called a mediator, mediates, between you and your spouse and all that. No, most of the time we are exposing, ourselves outside, thinking that those people are really coming to help us. They're not really coming to help. Some of them, it's not everybody that have self-control. They'll actually come and hear what is happening between you and your husband. Before you know, you hear it outside. And it hurts your emotion when something you told somebody in confidence and you go outside to hear it. All right, help your spouse to change through communication. Oh my goodness, this is a cardinal one. Remember I said earlier on, I said you help your spouse to seek for professional help. Number 2, they will change gradually in an atmosphere of love. It's not a first put, it's not the magical, it's not a microwave. Say microwave now, you put 3 minutes, the food is done. It's not a microwave thing, something that is automatic. No, it's a gradual process. The person gradually change, until the person becomes the person you want he or she to become. I said you help also your spouse to change to change through communication. Most of the things we need to talk it out, not shouting, not fighting. I remember I used to say, even when I'm doing counseling, women, there is a time to talk to a man. One, not when he's burdened, maybe with financial issues and all that, or when he is upset, or when he's not in the mood. As a wife or as a spouse, you should know when is the right time. You always know when you talk to the person and the person understands and, adhere to what you're saying. Not really when they're not in the mood or when they're upset. So you should know the right time for communication. You try to communicate to them. He said, I found out this, I think is from your family, because he said, just like my own, this and that, just try not to make him feel bad, but, let there be a balance. If you can seek help, but I can really help you in this and that. If you can do like this, if you can do like this, oh my goodness, you're surprised. You yourself, you'll be surprised at what, you can do, through the place of communication. Number 4, divorce is not the way out, but working things out. Most women, we don't really even want to, work things out. It's always, I want to leave this man on. No, it is not. like, I and my husband, we used to talk a lot. Yesterday we were talking about, some issues about our friends, a few of our friends that we know close to us, that divorced. And we find out that, most of the time when a divorce like that happens, the men, they can move on easily. Because me and my husband were talking humorously, said, even if a man is 60 years, 70 years, you will still see a young, and this one particular one we're talking about, this guy should be in his late 60s. And he married a very young girl, When I was talking, my husband was like, what's the problem? I said, I'm so upset because I know the woman. I said, I know this guy. I said, didn't this girl know about this guy's marriage and is coming? I told my husband, I said, this girl is young enough to be the youngest daughter, not even the first daughter. And she married this man and all that. My husband was like, that's why we're telling women, try to work things out, not divorce. Because immediately you divorce your husband and walk away, you will see another young girl that will move in. Without even minding if this man is old enough to be my father or my grandfather. So divorce is not the option, but to work things out. Things can be worked out in marriage, whether it's financial issue, whether it's emotional issue, whether it's psychological issue, whether it's issues with the in-laws or any other thing. It can be worked out in the atmosphere of love. Working on yourself to affect change on the relationship. As I round up, and that's my teaching today, you that is watching me or listening to me or watching my video right now from wherever you're watching me from all over the world, I use the word spouse there, meaning that it is applicable to a man or a woman. You can work on yourself to affect change. It has to do with you. Are you ready to change? Everything in life has to do with you personally. Even when you go to the doctor will tell you, do you really want to be treated? Because most people, when you give them medication, they don't take it. So you want to be healed. So if they give you medication, will you take it? Will they allow them to give you injection shots and all that? It's the same even with a lawyer. A lawyer will tell you, please tell me all the truth so that I'll know, okay, you are really at fault at here, so that I'll know, how to come in and help you. So it has to do with you. Do you really want to change? If you really want to change, you can work on yourself as a spouse, as a woman or a man. Work on yourself to effect change. We always like to, point accusing finger, but most of the time, we that is pointing the accusing finger, the fault might be from us. But are you willing to change? So I come to the end of my teaching today, or remember I dealt on understanding and marriage. That word, understanding, is a very big word. And it's really goes a long way to help. Most of the thing, understanding. You have to understand, okay, in this place, okay, this is why this is happening. Okay, we need a change here. How can we effect this change? Understanding, not shouting on the man, blah, blah, blah. I regret marrying you. There are people that are waiting for you to move away from that marriage, and they're moving. Especially we women, our problem most of the time is our mouth, the way you talk. My husband used to say, women, we talk with our head, not from our heart. Blah, 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 blah. Before you know, you've already said some nasty things that you will go to the man and say you're sorry, but you've already released them. So let's work on ourselves. Most of the time, let's just sit down and say, this man that is behaving like this, a man cannot, go ahead to pay your dowry, your lobola, and all that, whatever name it is being called, in marriage, to marry you and keep you in the house. And now you're saying he hates you, he's treating you like this, he wants to kill you. No, there is something that is happening. You sit down as a woman and think, what is really the problem here? Okay, with this understanding of this or this can be worked out, this. As I round up, I'll bring the story about, most of us would have seen it on the social media. It's humorous, but it really worked. This lady, actually went to, can I say, a native doctor and said, I want, what is it called? I want a medicine to kill my husband, to destroy him. Yeah. This native doctor just gave her, they said it's even full spice, mix it and all that. She thought, he said every day be putting it, just sprinkling it on his food. But he said, I'm going to give you some instruction which will follow. He said every day, dress well. Whenever he's talking, he said, hold your mouth like this. He said it's one of the medicine. And when you really want something, you will adhere without thinking, knowing that, that's those things really matter. He said, try to dress well. He said, try to always cook his best meal, wash his clothes, iron his clothes, keep the house clean, be good to his visitors and all that. And so he asked her, he said, do you know why I'm saying this? So that by the time he dies, people will not, people will not expect that you are the one that, killed him. Without knowing that was really the secret. The one started being nice, changing and all that. She rushed to the native doctor. I said, native doctor, please, because actually the man said that medicine will not kill him one day. You know, gradually, one day he will die. So she now said, please, sir, can you just change that medicine? My husband has really changed. I don't want to kill him anymore. This, and that. Please, is there something you can do? I don't want to kill him anymore. He has changed. The man started laughing. You know what we call a hearty laugh. Ha, 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 laugh. The lady was surprised. She said, sir, what is wrong? Is he going to die tomorrow? He said, no. He said, do you know what I actually gave you is a food spices. There's nothing dangerous there. But he said, it's your attitude. Those your attitude. Those things I told you always when he's talking, close your mouth. Even when there was another one I heard, he said, put water in your mouth. You know, why is it that? Because women will talk a lot so that those things will not enable you to respond back to him. You know, she now found out, said, oh, my husband has changed. I don't want to kill him. And the man said, no, he's not going to die. He said, but go home, continue what you're doing. You have a wonderful marriage. You will not die. I end with that today. I hope you're really blessed, you know, with my teaching today. Keep a date with me next week, Wednesday, on Victory Hour, on this, you know, platform of Chat Room with Dr. Victory. You know, I always bring teachings that will help us in those areas of our life where we feel defeated. Instead of feeling defeated right now, through my teaching, you have victory. Keep a date with me next week, Wednesday. Till then, remember, I always said on my Facebook page, we are in the mode of Thanksgiving. No matter what is happening to you, for you to be alive, and God kept you all through this COVID-19 pandemic, you know, all is disaster and all that, and you're still alive, getting to this month of December, God will see you through, and by the grace of God, we all move to 2021, giving God praise, looking back and say, Father, we thank you for 2020. Keep a day with me next week, Wednesday. I love you. Keep smiling. Thanksgiving.